Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. And it is Thursday. It's September 28th. This will be our chart lesson for the day. And this is going to wrap our week up. We'll be back again to do it on Monday. But I want to give you a heads up. I'll probably be taking off Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So I'll be gone Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Actually, I'm actually taking a fishing trip down to the coast. And so no chart lesson and no mid-morning charts on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Um, of next week. So I'll be here through Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, but I'll be off the rest of the week. So just kind of giving you a heads up so you can be prepared for that in case I forget to mention it Monday or something. But yes, I do plan to take a couple of days off. But we're still hovering around the 2,500 area. We are above it now, so I would expect that we'll come back and test it a few times first. That wouldn't surprise me before we move forward. But we got on the upper side relatively quickly, so that may be a good thing as far as moving forward. So we'll have to see. Not a lot of trades today. The bias was slightly up for most of the day. It really looked neutral until we continued higher here, and it's just. But there was mostly a slightly upward bias here today. But let's talk about the trades, and we'll move forward from there. But anyway, first trade I saw was this possible long here. I like this trade. We're a little bit away from the EMA. This is congestion, pretty tight, and we failed out. But that's a fairly strong move down, and this is just a first entry, counting off the low. It's actually a second entry off the high, so it is a second entry long. It's a failed break lower, so you can treat it like a failed break lower. We're a good bit away from the EMA, which on a range type day, you're going to come back to it pretty quickly. So there's a lot of reasons to like this long. On the other hand, generally you're better off to wait on a higher low, which doesn't come to till here, and then you're right into the EMA. So this was another one of those engulfing bars. So you might have even considered here as well. I could probably make that one green as well. But you really, especially once you saw the trend line coming up through here, you might consider that one. And your thought process at this point is that, hey, we're going back to test the highs. This is a range day. And so you're looking for prices to come back and test the high. But generally, you want to wait on the second entry long. And then you finally get that right here. It's starting to look like it may be going flat, but at this point, this doesn't really look like it. Looks like you'd figure we may push on up. You get enough here for a quick scalp, and then it turns back down. And then by the time it bounces here a couple more times, then this is really looking rangy. If you go to the far right-hand side of the corner, you can see at this point, this is a higher low. And even though you got a double top, there's a good chance you'll push up there and test that high. At least that's what you're thinking at that point. That's my thought process. But once you get out to here, now it's pretty obvious. And you really could have moved this up to here. By this point, it kind of fits better there. And you can see we're just kind of going sideways. And this ends up being a failed break lower when we're looking for prices to go back to the upper side. So, and this is a second entry long. This is basically a double top. Pull back first entry, pull back second entry. Nice bullish bar on top of that. So I like that entry. Quick, easy move back up to the highs where you would expect it to go. And we finally do go up and test the other highs. There's a higher low here as well, but you're not back to the EMA. This is really a breakout pullback long, but at this point, I'm not crazy about it. You could probably argue again for that one to be green as well, but it's a little risky. Wait on a second entry, something to come back, and you actually get that right here. There's actually a second entry long right there, but you don't really get any other correction until here. And so this is almost like a failed break lower, but the main thing is it's a second entry long. You've got a break of this, move to a new low, and then it's not if this was a really strong signal bar, I'd probably make this blue, but the fact that it's not, I left it green. Did I talk about this short here? I'm not sure if I did or not, but it's 2 legs up, a failed break higher, a little bit away from the EMA, so I like that one. A nice bearish bar. You might let it break lower and put a limit order in, but you may miss something there too. Um, but I like that one. Much like this one, it's your failed break, and then you got 2 legs up. And notice the break of the trend line moved to a new high. So I may have talked about that one twice, but maybe not. Um, but now you draw your trend line off these first 2 swings, and look, we come back again and test it, and you get a nice bullish reversal type bar. I like going long right there. Um, at that point, you would have probably moved this up to at least here. You may let this break higher and come back and use a limit order, but with that confirming that trend line and being a third touch, and I kind of like that trade because I figure you're probably going to continue higher here. We got a little channel working up, and it's probably a 2-tiered channel as well. You don't, this second part never comes into play, but you can see it's probably, there's no probably to it. It is a 2-tiered channel. So this is really a midline. And that's another reason, looking at that, at that point you really don't know that that's, you know, where the upper side is. You figure it's probably here. But anyway, you get a chance to go long. Third confirmation, third touch of your trend line, all that. It comes back again here. But at this point, you've broken above the upper highs again. And so I would wait on a higher low. And that comes right here. And that's also, notice, first entry, second entry. It's a failed second entry. It's a double test of that previous overnight high. A nice bullish bar. So I like that one. Looking for this channel to continue on. And you're hoping maybe you go back to the other side. And that really gets you into the end of the day. There's another pullback in the first entry here. And that is the first break of this. But this is only a first entry. And there's a lot of sideways action here. There's a little higher low here, but by the time it triggers, it's after 2 o'clock. In this case, you'd be much better off to go long right here. If it wasn't after 2 o'clock, you'd probably want to draw this trend line, and there's your close outside, move to a new low, and then it takes off again. So not a lot of entries today. This is kind of what you expect, a little sideways action around this 2,500 area. And we did close above it today, so we actually moved above it yesterday, late in the afternoon. Came back and tested it a few times and went forward. So that was another reason I like this. This was like a double test of the 2,500 area here too. I forgot to talk about that. And we went higher from there. And from here, measure that leg. And then from here, I'd look for a measured move, and notice we got a perfect to the tick measured move. I mean, that's to the tick. So that's exactly what you were looking for. And that was another reason I like entering here, even though it's somewhat back into these overnight highs. But that's another reason I said you might let it break higher here and use a limit order just to make sure you got room to get out. But we made a higher high here than here, so it's like a higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then of course that continues on. So, and that's a trend. Now everything's above the EMA, so we're trending somewhat. So, and that's another reason this one's somewhat green, is because we did notice we're getting some resistance there, even though we dropped a little lower. I talked with somebody else earlier today. When you see this right here, when prices just shoot right through that EMA, you better be really, really careful about going long. It doesn't mean that prices still can't go higher, but when you don't get any resistance at the EMA and it comes on through like that, that's telling you something. And notice here, you're getting some resistance there at the EMA before you get that little failed break lower, and because that's sideways action, and so that's like a little failed break lower as well. So but yeah, that's what I saw today, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to wrap it up for the week, and we'll be back again to it Monday. And like I said, I'll be gone Wednesday through Friday of next week, so I'll only be chart lesson on Monday and Tuesday. Same thing with the mid-morning chart that I post. Only be there Monday and Tuesday of next week. So, and I'll be fishing the rest of the week. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. Actually, we'll be back again to do it Monday, but I'm out here for the week and for the day. And this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.